Welcome back to Make Your Life Healthy. On this segment of our program, we're going to be talking about brain power and how to keep your mental abilities up as long as you live. You know, all of us worry about Alzheimer's disease, and it's such a horrible, debilitating disease that we see in a lot of older people and even some younger people. And sometimes if you've ever just wondered, oh my gosh, am I just getting Alzheimer's? You forget something, or you think that you should have been more clear about what you are remembering, and you wonder and ask yourself that question. So what we want to do is avoid it at all possible. Now, we know that Alzheimer's is caused a lot by a hereditary pattern. And if some of your relatives, your grandparents, or your parents have Alzheimer's, then you're going to have a better chance of getting it as well. But there are things that you can do to help alleviate the risk of getting Alzheimer's. There are different foods that you can eat, there's different physical activity, and the 5 most common things that you can do is to, number 1, eat healthy. And we just really preach that on this program over and over again, that it really is all about what you eat. You are what you eat, and that is the truth. So make sure you're eating the right things that you should eat. The next thing is physical activity, and they've found in all kinds of studies that people who are more physically active have a less chance of getting Alzheimer's than somebody who is very sedentary life. Also, people who surround themselves with a lot of friends, a lot of socializing, a lot of social stability, and just the social boosting that we get from having a lot of friends in our life. So that's another thing. Another way that you can avoid it, if possible, or dodge the bullet, maybe I should say, for Alzheimer's, is to keep learning things. And when I was reading about it, cognitive training is what they call it, and it's learning new things all the time. Now, we also want to encourage you to do puzzles and things like that. But if you really want to keep your brain sharp, learn a new activity. And what they said is learn something like the tango with your spouse and a group of friends while you're learning the music at the same time, because it forces your brain to learn steps, to learn music, and to socialize all at once. So you're getting 3 times what you need to be doing just in order to keep your brain sharp. Doing a lot of different activities like puzzles or painting or any of the things that's going to make you think about what you're doing while you're doing it. The object is to keep your brain focused on more than one activity at the same time. So when somebody says, oh, you're so scatterbrained, you do 10 things at once, hey, that's really a good thing. So keep doing it. You want to mentally be able to do multiple things at one time, because the more things you do with your brain at the same time, the more activity your brain gets and the stronger your brain stays. It's like a muscle. So that's another way that you can do it. Then the other thing is to drink the right things, not to drink a lot of alcohol, not do the things in your body that are kind of risky behaviors that are going to take away from your brain activity. So those are some of the things you can do. Some of the things that you can eat in order to do it, and they have judged the 5 most healthy foods in order to keep your brain power up. And those foods were in no particular order: wild salmon. And I was reading about this, I was really surprised to find out that some of the salmon is farm-fed salmon and farm-raised salmon, and it does not have the same thing as wild salmon. Wild salmon, if you know, you see all the pictures, they swim upstream, where they develop all the muscles in their bodies. They get the bulk of everything that they can possibly get that's healthy by living that life outside and growing the way they're supposed to in the streams. If they're farm-raised salmon, sometimes the salmon is so pale when they get it into the grocery stores, they add food coloring to it. So make sure that when you get salmon, you're getting natural wild salmon, not farm-raised salmon. So that's one of the things. Another thing that you can eat that's a very healthy food for your brain is the acai berry. I always say that wrong, but it's the acai berry or blueberries. Those both have the same kind of effect on it. They both have antioxidants. They both have a lot of nutrients in it that are good for our brains. So that's another food. Another thing that you can do is drink green tea. And I'm a big proponent of tea. If it's natural tea, if it's herbal tea, but green tea is the young leaves of the tea, and those have the most nutrition in it, the most antioxidants. All those things play into our brain power, so you want to make sure that you're drinking that kind of thing. And then the last 2 things are things that you're going to be surprised about, because I was. Cocoa beans, which is chocolate. We love chocolate. I especially love chocolate. You need to be eating the kind of chocolate that's the dark chocolate that's 75 or 85% cocoa beans. That's the real good, strong stuff, not the you know, the watered down milk chocolate that we all like, but get the strong, wonderful, semi-sweet chocolate that doesn't have a lot of sugar added. That has a lot of antioxidants to it. It really is a brain food. And then coffee. And coffee beans, if you're a coffee drinker, sometimes people look at coffee, they still say it's a vice, I drink too much coffee. But you know what? And this did surprise me. The average American diet, the way that they're getting the most antioxidants in their diet is through coffee. So it has a lot of antioxidants. It's a sad thing whenever you have to say that the most antioxidants in our diet are just because of coffee. So we need to be eating healthy foods all the way. And then I love some of the websites that I found. There's a number of different games that you can play. There is a website called Luminosity. And if you go to that website, every day they'll send you a new brain game that you can play. Nintendo has one that's a brain power game that you can play. And you can get that as well. And it stimulates your brain. And again, it forces your brain to do more than one activity at a time. That's the key to keeping your cognitive level up. And that means stretching your brain, making sure that you're learning new things, making sure that the things you're learning are causing you to think about it. And they really said that that's one of the things you need to focus on what it is you're doing and use 2 or 3 parts of your brain at the same time. That's why the music and the steps go so well together, because you can learn the steps, learn the music, hear it in your mind, and you're doing multiple things in your brain all at one time. When they have done tests with people who have Alzheimer's, and they have tried to redevelop their cognitive level, those were the people who had Alzheimer's that did the best. That they did not regain all of their brain power, because Alzheimer's is a disease that continues to get progressively worse. But it does help to slow down the progression of it if they're doing cognitive things. It helps the people to not have so much of the Alzheimer effects at the beginning of the disease, when they can still slow it down or stop it. Or not stop it, but reverse it. So those are some of the things you can do. Make sure that the brain power that you have, you're using. Make sure that you're learning something new. Writing is a wonderful, wonderful exercise for your brain, because you have to think about what you're putting down on paper at the same time you're thinking of it in your mind. So any of the things that are going to cause you to think more. But try doing Luminosity. Look at it up on the computer. You're going to really like and enjoy some of the games that are on there. It's going to make you think about what you're doing. And then if all else fails and you just have nothing else to do, play with your grandkids, because they'll definitely keep you stimulated. And I hope that you will join us next week. We have 6 more topics that we're going to be talking about. And again, I've enjoyed tonight's program. And again, I've really enjoyed having you with us as we've discussed these things. I hope that you'll be able to take one thing with you this week that's going to help to make your life healthy. So if it's drinking water, eating ginger, or whatever that you can add to your lifestyle to make your life healthy, it's going to help you and the people around you. Check our website, www.makeyourlifehealthy.com, and we'll see you again next time.
Now I'm going to be insulted.